Hello everybody, Sticks here with the Token Minorities, bringing you another deck on Pokemon TCGO, and today we have a bit of an older deck idea centered around Sceptile-EX, the 170 HP grass Pokemon with 2 attacks that both of whom have some nice synergy. But before I really get into the deck, just wanted to remind you guys that if you like this video or found it entertaining, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, just because it really helps us out and helps us grow. And as you can see, this video I really consider kind of a milestone in our TCG adventure, as it were. But anyway, on to the deck. Now, it's taken me a while to bring you this type of deck idea because while it is older, it was one of the first decks that I actually had made in full when I started, I think a couple months ago. I started in like early November. So, I mean, I really wanted this deck to be good. Like, it had just some bad matchups, like against grass decks. It kind of stops almost to where you have to like just go for tick attacks. So I've been editing it here and there, trying to make it as best as it can be, and I finally just decided, you know what, screw it, I'm going with it, and this is what I have found works the best for me. So onto the Pokemon. 1 Shaman. I started out with no Shaman in this deck just because you want to fill up the bench, but I found that sometimes you draw yourself a little short and all you have is an Ultra Ball. Well, guess what? That Ultra Ball can turn into a brand new hand, so that's why I decided to just throw 1 Tech Shaman in there. You really don't want to put 1 more on the bench because that is kind of bad, and it takes up bench space that you need for other stuff. We are running 4 Sceptile-EX. These are the main attackers of the deck, and you will notice that, yes, I do actually have a full set of Full Art Sceptile. This is the first deck I'm bringing you that I'm able to completely utilize Full Arts, and so I'm pretty excited about that. Sceptile has 2 attacks, Sleep Poison for 10, then flip a coin if heads. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep and poisoned. It's really nice if you go second and you can attack. Unseen Claw is really the attack that we want to focus on. 60 plus 70 if the opponent is afflicted by a special condition. And then we are running 1 Mega Sceptile-EX just because sometimes when you go first you can't attack anyway, and if you have a Forest of Giant Plants in, well, I mean, your turn's going to end and you can't attack, might as well slap down a Mega Sceptile. And really we do this for the Jagged Saber attack, does 100 damage, and you may attach up to 2 grass energies from your hand to your bench Pokemon in any way you like. If you attached energy to a Pokemon in this way, heal all damage from that Pokemon. We're really not using that second part of the attack to its fullest potential. Really, we are just using this as acceleration to have a Mega Sceptile out there in the beginning and to get Sceptile powered up on the bench. Now, for the special conditions, we are going with a 2-2 line of Spinarak and Ariados for the Poisonous Nest ability. Now, while this does not affect grass Pokemon, I tried it with a Victory Bell line, because Victory Bell has that ability where you can discard a grass type energy attached to it, and the opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned and confused. I tried that just made this deck really clunky, and you really need to be attaching energy to Sceptile, but I found that I was attaching energy to Victory Bell a little bit too much, so I decided that this was a little bit better. And we are running a 3-3-2 line of bats just for some added damage, just, you know, get some tick damage off on our opponents, maybe set them in KO range of Unseen Claw, because with a Muscle Band, Unseen Claw can hit for 150, so use a Golbat to damage the 170 HP EXs to where they're in KO range, and use Crobat to hit the 180 HP EXs. Running 2 Level Ball, really just for Spinarak, Ariados, and occasionally a Zubat and Golbat, although you'll be rarely going for that, because with Level Ball, you'll usually want to have a Forest of Giant Plants, and you want to utilize its ability while you can, so that's when you're really just going to try to get a Spinarak and Ariados out immediately. 1 Professor's Letter for 2 energy. I keep doing that. Really just for the Jagged Saber so we can utilize that, and also if we just need some energy to power up a Sceptile. I mean, that's pretty basic. Super Rod, just because, I mean, we find we discard our Pokemon and energy a little bit too much, so just in case you find that you need to bring a few back, then, I mean, just go ahead and do it. I've had hands where I've had 3 Golbat and a Sycamore. I've had to discard them all, and then immediately I was able to Super Rod them back, so not much was lost, but you do find yourself in some situations where Super Rod helps a little bit. Only 1 Super Scoop Up. I mean, I'm only running 1 just because I really don't want to place a lot of emphasis on this card because it is such a well, I mean, literally a coin flip on whether or not you can pick up a Pokemon, and it's only for Shaman or Bats. You really don't need it that much, but I find that it is just nice if you're like, oh, I feel like I want to get a little more damage with our Bats, so scoop it up and then put it back down, and if not, you're like, well, wasted card, no big deal. One switch, just in case you have like a Spinarak or Ariados out there and you don't want to start with them, you can just switch them out. 4 Ultra Ball to get everything else out, 3 VS Seeker for all of our supporters, 1 Giovanni Scheme, really just for the 20 extra damage. Like if you can't find a Muscle Band and you want to hit for like a knockout on an EX, then you can use Giovanni Scheme for the 20 extra damage. And with a Muscle Band, Sceptile and a status condition, Sceptile actually knocks out every single EX going into their turn because the poison will knock them out on that next turn. So that's why Giovanni Scheme is pretty nice. 1 Hex Maniac because I have been seeing a weird number of Beautyfly decks. I mean, that's really unusual. I never saw it before until I tested out this deck. So Hex Maniac is there just to shut down the Safeguard-like ability. 2 Lysander to bring stuff out, 3/3 of Birch Sycamore, and 1 Skyla just in case you need a Level Ball or a Forest of Giant Plants. 1 Dimension Valley, that way we don't have to attach with our Bats to attack with them. 3 Forest of Giant Plants to evolve immediately. 3 Muscle Band, 1 Sceptile Spirit Link just for that first turn, or if you have it a little bit later, then you can use it there. And then 10 Grass Energy. We don't need to run any double colorless energy, so just using Grass. And yeah, that is the deck, and let's just go ahead and see it in action. Alrighty, we have found one against Bear 213. I almost fell asleep because I was waiting so long to find a match, but he has a fighting deck, probably is Lucario, and we do get a call to coin flip. Let's go for Tails. It's not Tails. Darn it. So we're probably going to go second. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Hopefully we can start off with something good. You know what? I consider... I actually don't. I don't like that too much. So let's just, you know what? Let's leave it for now. See what my opponent starts off with. He starts off with a Lucario. He's going to be able to hit us for a lot, but I will hopefully be able to poison it first turn. So that's really what I'm hoping for. Yep, it's a Lucario, Machamp, probably Hawlucha. I mean, it's probably just a very, very straightforward fighting deck, so that's going to be a bit troublesome for us to deal with, just because of the pressure that that deck is able to apply, but hopefully we are able to counter it in one way or another. If I can get a Sleep Flip, that would actually be really phenomenal. Like if I can get a Sleep Poison, because then I will actually be able to knock it out with an Unseen Claw even after just one turn. Let's just go ahead and play this there, go for this on the Sceptile, get rid of the Hex Maniac. We're not going to need that at all this battle. And probably the switch. I don't think I will need that to grab a Shaman. See what we can get off of that. Yes, please. Go for... Alright, so we got that. Let's go ahead and Skyla. I'm just going to Skyla for a Sycamore for next turn because I need that. And alright, here's where we pray that we can get heads. Come on, give me heads. Yes! Alright, we got the Sleep Flip. If he can stay asleep, that would be phenomenal. But if not, alright, he even stays asleep. That is great for us. Even if he didn't stay asleep, if we could somehow get a Muscle Band next turn, then that would work out just as well for us, because I think we could knock him out. Gonna go for the VS Seeker. Obviously, for a Karina, that was the only thing he had. I wonder what he's gonna look for. He might try to go for a switch. Probably gonna go for a Machamp. That way he can play that down next turn. Or a Meditite. So this is... Lucario, okay, Medicham actually hits for a lot of damage, so that will be a target of a Lysander more often than not, and probably target of sniping from my Crobats, or well, not just Crobats, my Bats line. So, okay, he's just going to power up the Lucario on the bench, leave this one essentially dead to rights, so at least I'm hoping it's dead to rights. Because if I can get a Muscle Band, then that's a dead Lucario, which is phenomenal. Does wake up. I don't think it will matter. So let's go ahead and play this down on here. Go for the Sycamore. Get rid of some good resources, but it's not that big of a deal. What I can do... Oh man, that's not what I really wanted to see is... I can go ahead and play the Sceptile Spirit Link. Play the... No, I don't want to play the Spinarak down. I'm just going to go for a... level ball. I actually can knock it out this turn with a Golbat. I probably could have gone for the Ariados, but I want to get this Lucario out of the way just so I can take a prize lead. And then I think, actually, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try to knock it out with an Unseen Claw, which I do. Does 180. I did not want it coming back into his turn because he had a Muscle Band, and that would have been bad, to say the least. Ooh, what I can do next turn is Ultra Ball for a Mega Sceptile. And then, Ultra Ball for a Mega Sceptile, play that down, hit it with a Jagged Saber, hopefully get an Ariados and a Sceptile on the bench that I can power up in the background. So, so we do see a Medicham come out, hopefully, okay, so, and a VS Seeker probably just for Karina again. Like, he's able to power it up, but I don't know if he'll be able to hit us for that much. If he has an energy, then he will be able to Corkscrew Smash, and he does not, so he just has to Missile Jab. Okay, we do see the Muscle Band. What I'm probably actually going to do is go ahead and Ultra Ball, get rid of the Spinarak and the Lysander. I'm going to play it this way. I'm going to go for a Sceptile so that way I can play the Muscle Band onto it, and then I'm going to hope that I can get a way of bringing out Mega Sceptile next turn. We do get heads. Nope, don't get it. That's unfortunate, but what I can do is just start powering up this one on the bench, play the Crobat, get some damage off on the Lucario, and ooh, this is not very good. I probably should have just gone for the Mega Sceptile and then hope that I could draw a Sceptile. But we'll put it in. I will put it in KO range of a Muscle Band boosted Unseen Claw next turn, so that way I'll just be down to a couple prizes. My opponent will be able to Corkscrew Smash this turn. Will that be able to knock us out? Yes, it will, because it'll be able to do 100 damage. And yeah, I mean, my opponent luckily hasn't been able to draw much, but that is all going to change this turn because he will be able to... Actually, Medicham will be able to start killing some stuff, so I actually might want to... Or, no, he goes for the... Oh, he just goes for that on the Sceptile. Huh, interesting. So what I am going to do is knock out the Lucario this turn. He's going to take 2 prizes. Hopefully I can get something else going. Play this here. I am just going to Birch because I have too many good resources in my hand. I'm probably going to get Tails. Nope, I get Heads, actually. So that's nice. Gonna play this here. Play the Ariados down. And let's see, what all do I have? And I can actually Super Rod, get rid of this, and this back into my deck. Yes, I would. Let's go ahead and go for the Poisonous Nest, even though it really doesn't completely matter, because I will just be able to KO it with the Unseen Claw. And do I have a Lysander? If I have a Lysander, yes I do. I'm going to take out that Medicham because that is the biggest threat right now. Nothing else can really take me out. He's probably going to try to power it up with his Landorus right now, so that is what I have to watch out for. So whichever one he Shout of Powers onto will be the target of my Lysander this turn. I think does go for the Scorched Earth, so he will be able to draw a couple cards if he wants to. Goes for the Tierno. If he gets... Okay, so he only had 1 energy apparently. Okay, we do see a Muscle Band. Alright, so that Medicham is the target of my Lysander. I do not want that thing getting powered up. Oh, it looks like he had 2. Oh well. Energy Retrieval. Just grabs 2 of them. And, okay. So I am targeting down that Medicham right there because that is going to get energy onto it. And we cannot have that thing hurting stuff. So let's go ahead and put this onto the Crobat just in case. Let's go for, there it is, there's the Lysander. Let's target down that Medicham, and then let's go ahead and Poisonous Nest. and then get rid of it with the Unseen Claw to where my opponent has nothing else powered up, and we will be within 1 KO of the win. We even get a Lysander, so I mean, I don't think we'll need to use it. Actually, we might, just to end the game, target down the Medicham. I mean, even our Sceptile will be able to knock out the Landorus. What I'm probably just going to do is target the Medicham just to rub salt in the wound, as it were. But I think, yeah, I think I'll be able to hit for 150 regardless. He's going to Karina. I don't think there is any way he can knock us out this turn. So I think we pretty much have the game locked up unless, I mean, something absolutely absurd happens. But I don't think there's any way that he will be able to knock us out. And I will target down that Medicham because that thing has been a thorn in my side for a very long time. We do even see a Fighting Stadium. Shout of Power, not going to do enough. And we will just win the game on this turn by Lysandering in the Medicham and going for the Poisonous Nest and getting rid of it. Already, play down that Lysander. Go for the... Okay, and our opponent just scoops. I really just want to do that because I do not like Medicham. It's a pain. And oh, we even get a finish the daily challenge, so that's pretty awesome. But yeah, that deck, our deck really worked out against that deck. I mean, it was kind of an aggro versus aggro deck, so that was pretty nice to see, and we were able to come out with a win. And yeah, well, let's just go ahead and try to find one more. Alrighty, we have found one against TCGO 105. Oh man, it looks like he's using a Seismitoad Giratina deck. I don't like seeing this. This is not fun. And we even lose the coin flip. I mean, I've played a little bit today. I don't think I've gone first a single time. So that's horrible. And we even start with a Zubat. Ew. That's not something you like to see because that is donkable, especially from a Seismitoad or a Latios EX. And it's an... Okay, never mind. It's an Axew. Wait, so he's running a Haxor... Wait, I'm confused. He's running a Haxorus deck, I guess? I'm not sure. Does go for the Birch's Observations after powering it up once, gets Tails. That's good for us, but... Oh, it's a Haxorus Octillery deck. That's interesting. So what I am going to do is go ahead and play that down. Go for a Level Ball to grab a Spinarak. Play this down here, go for the Ultra Ball, get rid of the Hexmaniac and the Grass Energy to grab a Shaman. Oh, there's the Shaman, not the Sceptile. There we go. Don't have a full art Shaman yet. I had them, but I needed to trade them for better stuff. See if we can get a good 6 cards that we can use. We actually do. So let's go ahead and play this here, play that down here, go for the Forest of Giant Plants, and then Lysander in... You know what? I think at this point I'm just going to Sycamore, just because. I mean, I could have Lysandered in the Remoraid, make him stuck a little bit, but not a big deal. So what I am going to do is go ahead and play this Sceptile down, Level Ball for an Ariados. Go ahead and play that. And then even what I can do is Ultra Ball for a Mega Sceptile, which I think I'm going to go ahead and do Ultra Ball, get rid of the Zubat and the Force of Giant Plants for a Mega Sceptile that I can attack with next turn, although I might want to be able to hit for 130 depending on... Oh, and our opponent just concedes. We had too good of a start, and yeah, they just decided to scoop. Yeah, didn't even get any damage off, so that's a bit unfortunate, but we had a pretty good start, so I mean, that's what the deck's supposed to do right there. I mean, not really because we didn't even get to play it, but I'm going to go ahead and try to find another one because I'm not going to end on that one. Alrighty, we have found one against a Psychic Fairy and Water deck who is by Matt TCG, so, interesting. So let's go for the coin flip. No, we lose again. Oh man, this is awful. Oh, I thought coin flips were supposed to be 50-50, not never go first ever, but oh well. He gets to choose who goes first. We're probably going to go second. That's not the best. Yeah, we do go second. I don't like seeing that. Start off with a Sceptile, which is okay. We do get to see what our opponent is running, though. running an Octillery, that's not surprising. And we get nothing else telling. We do see that he's running a DCE. We don't see enough types of Pokemon to say that he's running the Breakthrough Xerneas, so I'm not quite sure what my opponent is running. We will just have to see. Wonder what he's going to put as his active Pokemon. He won't be able to see what we're running, although we do obviously run grass, so... Oh, that's not something bad. Okay, we do see the Geomancy Xerneas, so we will be able to knock that out in one hit once we are able to get an Ariados going, so that's probably going to be what I Ultra Ball for. And okay, so it is a Fairy Acceleration Mega Mewtwo X deck with Octillery tech. Got it. So, I mean, could be worse, and we do see a Fairy Garden, so I'm going to want to counter that as soon as I can. Yeah, he can't attack this turn, so that was a pretty good setup for him. And okay, so we do see Ultra Balls on Ultra Balls, so I'm just going to get rid of this and this to grab a Spinarak first. And then I'm going to Ultra Ball away the Lysander and the Golbat to grab a Shaman. Yes, and I did see that I had it in there earlier, so let's play that down. Yes, draw 6. Something that we can work with. Let's go ahead and play the Grass Energy here. Go for the Super Scoop Up. We even get heads on that. That's pretty nice. So let's go ahead and Super Rod back in the Golbat, just because we're going to be discarding it with Sycamore. Draw a couple more. We get another Sceptile. We get a Forest of Giant Plants and with a Muscle Band. So that's actually pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and draw 6. We even get the Mega Sceptile. So what I am going to do is play this Sceptile down. I'm going to go ahead and Ultra Ball. Get rid of... Actually, I'm going to sit on my hand for now. I think... So it does 10 damage going into his turn, 10 damage into mine, 10 damage into his. So I think Xerneas will be knocked out by an Ariados Poison. So I'm going to play the Muscle Band onto this, Ultra Ball, get for an Ariados, and then that way the Xerneas will be knocked out, and I can also get a Mega Sceptile going. Let's go ahead and Poisonous Nest. And then I know we're drawing ourselves a little bit short, but I mean, we really didn't have any draw power to begin with. So, alright, we have something cooking. We will be able to knock out the Xerneas next turn. I mean, he will be able to get some energy in play. He does get a Mega Mewtwo out, so that's going to have to be a target ASAP. Ultra Ball, probably for an Octillery more than likely. I mean, I don't think you'd go for a Shaman at this point. I think you would just want to get an Octillery out, because that way you have consistent draw. Or he goes for a Spritzy. That's an unusual choice. I would have gone with an Octillery just because if you would have had the very, very consistent draw. And our opponent just forfeits. Okay, I mean, was his Octillery prized? It might have just been prized, and that's why. So, again, we weren't able to attack, but we were able to get out a Mega Sceptile turn 1 that would have powered up our stuff, and we were in a decent position, actually a very good position. Would have been an even better one if we drew something off of if we top deck something good. But, I mean, that's 3 matches, or, yeah, I think that's 3 matches, so, sorry that the last 2 matches weren't longer, but it is what it is. This deck is very fast, and you can get stuff out really quickly thanks to Forest of Giant Plants. So, yeah, that's a deck, guys. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and this is Styx, signing out. Why not? See you guys.